Graphic design is the craft of planning and creating visual content to communicate ideas and messages. Graphic design is everywhere. Look from billboards to cereal boxes to mobile apps. Through incorporating different elements and principles, these designs can influence our perception and emotion. BRAAP Classic Clothing is a local clothing brand owned by Jadell Prentice. BRAAP started as a graphic label producing designs for its clients, but has now evolved into so much more. Today, we warmly welcome Jadell to Good Morning SKN Expressions to learn more about his business. Good morning, Jadell.
Good morning,
welcome.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. We want to know, where did the name BRAAP come from and what does it mean?
Well, that's a really funny story. It's a really funny story. So basically, BRAAP came about when I was by somebody I consider as a brother. But basically, my old man, he's the reason I really got into graphic designing. Because one day, he had Photoshop open and was like, go ahead, do something.
Nice.
I just type in a word and then that was it because I didn't know me no still from you.
Okay.
But then from that, BRAAP is really a bike too. He is into bikes and motorbikes. That's his thing from since I used to from him born. That's all he talking about, bikes.
Okay.
So I used to hear him say the term all the time, the slang all the time, and from my head I was like BRAAP. That's all I say over and over and over and over. And the acronym "Be Authentic and Positive" came out. It just clicked. It wasn't nothing I thought about too much. It was nothing that I had to put much thought into. It was just like be authentic and positive because that's always just what I stand on. Because with him, he always encouraged me to always be myself, be different, be just stand out. One thing he always said, always stuck with me is that because I always tell my mom I want to be like him when I grow up. He always tell me don't ever say that in life. Don't ever teach anybody that. Don't ever push that mindset, that ideology onto anybody else. I always teach them to always be different. Forge your own path. Don't walk in his path. Make my own path so I could teach somebody else also to make their own path as well. Knowledge is always transferred. Don't keep it to yourself. So that was it all. That's basically the whole story in a nutshell.
Okay.
So it's not just BRAAP.
Exactly.
I love it. Real, authentic, and positive.
And positive, yeah.
I remember that. So tell us about the products that you create.
Well, okay. Locally, for now, I just doing t-shirts. For now, this is one of the t-shirts.
I noticed. I'm looking at it.
This was the
breast cancer
one for last year design. Yeah, it was a last year one. And the back in Marcan, we will fight. No, wait. Together we can fight. Together we will win.
Okay.
And the whole breast cancer thing is a whole other story too. But yeah, this was one of the designs. And locally, I just doing t-shirts for now. I have a store online, BRAAP Classic Clothing. That's US based, where you can sell shirts, sweaters, hoodies, mugs, pillows, the whole lot. Getting into other things eventually in the future. Hoping to try to bring them in locally as well so I could sell them and do a base front here. So, but for now, locally, just t-shirts.
Oh, I like that one.
So your audience then, the bulk of your consumers are overseas?
I understand that I'm going to have clients overseas. So I really wanted to do a more base over there. And at the same time, it's going to be kind of easier in a sense. I wanted to branch off. I don't want BRAAP to just be in St. Kitts. I want it to be worldwide. You see everybody wearing Nike. You see everybody wearing Adidas.
Ooh.
Somebody going to wear BRAAP.
I like the
want everybody
mentality.
wearing BRAAP. And that's my goal in life. That's the goal. That's the end goal for BRAAP. Everybody going to be, your mother going to be talking about it, your father going to be talking about it, your children going to be talking, everybody going to be talking about it. That's the goal.
Lovely.
I can see why you want to go into more than t-shirts for now. So what's the end goal? Like
End goal?
Yeah. Any more products that you haven't touched yet that you think you're going to touch eventually?
Yeah, for sure, but can't.
Oh boy, no secret.
It's a
I always try to
secret.
get the secrets. I never get them.
I can't later. But I could, which I put it a little bit shoes.
Okay.
Customizing shoes and what's up. I'm gonna pair it now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
BRAAP
No, we're gonna have to get
Classic.
shots of that. That's nice. Yeah.
Don't mind the look kind of beat up. These I do these from the first time. These were the first things I do.
Yeah.
So
You might. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, is there anything in particular that inspires your designs?
Anything in particular?
Yeah.
Mine. I have one. I can't shut up my mind.
Oh wow.
My mind is always racing, always thinking of ways, ideas, always thinking something. I would think it's a blessing from God, but sometimes I would think it's a curse because it just never can't
quiet.
turn it off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, with inspiration is like, I got days where I have inspiration off the top of my head. I have days, I have months, I would go dry. Nothing to think about, no ideas, no design, nothing at all. Just me and my thoughts. And nothing coming out of these. I would sit down like for hours on a blank screen and nothing coming. And I won't force a design out of me because recently, the more recent time, the older I go and the more mature, every design I do had a reason behind it. Because me designing BRAAP myself, the reason behind this whole thing is fighting breast cancer. My aunt fought breast cancer and she beat it.
Oh, good stuff.
And because of her, every year from that day, 3 years ago, up to now, and moving forward, I always do something for breast cancer. Because of that. And I'm going to branch off into other form diseases. I have asthma.
Okay.
We all struggle with mental health.
Yeah.
We all go through something. So why not show the what my thoughts, my ideas on them and put some up. If I could put it on a shirt, I could put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
If I could put it on a graphic, I could put it on a graphic. I want to put something, just a way at putting what's in my head outside. Showing, projecting my ideas on something.
I love that. It's like the world is your canvas.
Basically. Basically. Because I want to get into painting too. I want to get into everything. But now I'm getting to drawing. I got part of home, I invested in my part and getting to drawing. I think I want 2 drawings. They're maybe the best draw I bought.
I asked you to consider what your biggest mistake was as an entrepreneur and what you've learned from it to help you to get to the point where you are now.
Shocked. I said the biggest mistake I did starting out was giving up in the beginning, not being consistent, not pushing myself as hard as I'm pushing myself right now. Because when I first started out, there was a lot of doubt in myself, a lot of doubt with people at home, a lot of not as much support as I would have liked starting out doing something like this. Because starting out my business, I had $0 in pocket. I started doing hyper shirts with $0 in pocket. I started doing this whole thing with nothing. And the first profit I made off of it, I tell you now, I could tell you the exact amount of shirts I sold and the profit I made. I sold 10 shirts, and those 10 was to people who was around me. And from those 10 shirts, I made $100 profit. And, you know, I do with that same $100 profit, went right back in the business. Me spend nothing, take that $100, I went right back into investing back in myself and just to push forward. But then starting out and the high off of it is like, I had a lot of challenges out of it. Basically, my laptop that I had, my old laptop that I had, kept crashing. It had a time it crashed to the point where I had a blue screen and I lose all my designs. Over 100 and something designs. And from that I was done. I was like, nope. I'm done with designing. I can't start work over all this process because I lose everything. All my hard work from the start up to that point, I lose everything. It had took me a couple months to be honest before I started by designing. All the time last year, all the time just doubting and just was like, what the point anymore? Because if I lose this, what's just in my head. But then something just clicked. It was God. Probably was God, you know. Probably was God. And it clicked, and I just started back over from the beginning. Right now, I think I did triple or quadruple the amount of designs I had then. Probably. I got a new laptop now. I wanted the fun thing after my laptop crashed. The first time, it crashed again.
Oh wow.
It crashed again because my laptop was was an old model of a Dell laptop I had from my grandmother. She sent it down, and I wasn't even using Photoshop sometimes. I was using other software called GIMP before I went over to Photoshop. I just went over Photoshop this last year. I just went to Photoshop. So all the designs I did before this year, I did a breast cancer design for the first time I did it, and it wasn't even in Photoshop. Just my recent designs I'm doing that wasn't in Photoshop, and nobody know that, because this is something I talk about. I don't talk about all the bad that go on behind bars, behind closed windows, behind closed doors, because I rather push out the good.
Yeah.
As much as I just rather, it's not an image thing. It's not that I'm ashamed or anything else. It's just a matter of I don't like to disappoint people. So I rather fix the bad behind closed doors and come out with the good. Because why would I fix the bad in public? Should that is some all kind of thing just going bad, and I could just fix it when I got time by myself and then just come
Just
back out good.
produce the good.
It speaks to the positivity, which is the P.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys positive. Trust me, the amount of negative that used to go on in my head against myself and with it, to say a positive now, that's a good thing. Because
That's a great thing.
Yeah, I was more against the whole abbreviation than how I am now. Because as I said, all that come in maturity and learning. So and as I said, the biggest mistake I did, the biggest thing I learned from was just doubting myself.
Okay. So I would have noticed that you became an entrepreneur at the age of 15, and you are also one of the 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts. Now you have led us through the path to what would have gotten you to that point, being one of the 25. But can you tell us, how does it feel to be one of them when you were selected?
To be honest, I'm be completely honest with you, because that's just me. I'll just be honest. In the moment when I was receiving the award, I didn't feel any different to how I feel then and how I feel now. Because if I got it or not, and if I would have still be remarkable. I didn't need them to tell me that I was remarkable. To be acknowledged for it, yeah, it felt good. But it didn't change my perspective. I didn't change my angle. It didn't change my perspective. Like, it didn't push me any hard, because I was done pushing myself hard.
Good stuff.
I was done pushing myself beyond my limit to the point I done burned out. So it's like this award didn't push me any further. It gave me a little, okay, keep it up. You're doing good. You get an award for all the hard work you put in. No, but it didn't set any other goals in mind, because as I say, I always think, man, I always had goals. But the funny thing is, if they asked me when I was 15 years ago, when I just started, if I would have seen myself under, I would have said no. Because even before I signed up for it, my cousin told me the year prior to that to sign up. I was like, nah. I was like, nah, man, because I don't like spotlight. I don't feel like, so I was like, nah. He had to push me. He was, sign up. Entrepreneurship, I was like, you know what? Okay.
How old are you? Like, seriously.
All right. He's just
all of this
the wisdom.
Right.
Yeah, because all of your learning growing up, I had to mature at a young age because of circumstances. So I just had to, I was put in a position where I had to learn things off my own.
Okay.
And when you learn things off your own, you see things in a different light. And I try to think from other people's perspective. That's just me. So I just feel like, next thing for BRAAP is just to accomplish my goal, the worldwide. I got to start somewhere. That I'm not gonna just jump all the steps and just be like, boom, worldwide now. I got to accomplish smaller steps. For now, it's just, for sure, it's for this year, breast cancer. For sure, that's gonna be a big thing. That the ideas I have for that, I want it to be bigger than last year.
Okay.
And seeing now that it's like I gain more exposure now, I feel like I got more people now to not disappoint. More people now to, I got more weight on my shoulder now. I'm gonna lift up the weight and just continue. I'm continuing doing what I'm doing. You for sure.
Keep doing that. The final question that we have for you is, and you're gonna look into that camera right there, the advice that you can give to anybody who might wanna, I don't want to say follow in your footsteps, because you already said don't be like someone else. But if they want to start a business or they want to pursue their goals, you've got about 30 seconds to do it in that camera. What would you tell them?
I'll tell you two things. Just to start, and when you start, don't give up. Is when you come into this designing game, this entrepreneurship game, you got to be a bigger supporter. The things that the people you thought wouldn't support you are the ones not supporting you. The ones you wouldn't think would support you are the ones supporting you. Support coming in a lot of ways. Either just reposting what you do, helping you by buying your product, just words of advice, words of wisdom. Just make sure you have support. Just make sure you use the biggest support and don't give up on it. Just don't give up.
Yeah.
Trust, do not give up. Don't look at where you're at now, look at your end goal, look at where you want to be. And just always work towards where you want to be in life. Don't ever think about where you be now, don't think about all this, the hardship, don't think about all the things that are going to the struggle, just think about where you want to be. And make that there be a motivation and inspiration, and make that always push and drive you.